Authorities are reportedly asking local governments to prepare for its potential downfall. Earlier, Indonesia's finance minister warned Evergrande's woes could affect the world.
Homeland Security says there are several concerning factors. There's continuing grievances over COVID restrictions, which has stirred up a lot of opposition. There's the continuing efforts by foreign influencers to try to stir up trouble in the U.S.
Call it a $50 million mystery. Data analytics company Palantir buying more than $50 million worth of, get this, gold bars in August. According to a regulatory filing, the company is able to take physical possession of the gold at any time with reasonable notice. We reached out to Palantir to find out why they wanted gold on their books. They didn't respond to our request for a comment. Karen, you sort of did some fine prints, looking at the fine print on this one. What'd you find?
Well, a little bit. So it was in the 10Q, which is what they released the other day. It talked about this August purchase.
Grocers and supermarkets across America are being told by government officials and local outlets to be ready for panic buying to start. Supermarkets are being told to prepare for what is being called by some an apocalyptic shortage across the country as cargo ships sit offshore, as they are held up from other countries, and as the supply chain gets that much closer to the full-on breaking point.
If a Carrington-class event were to occur today, with all the grids, electric cars, and equipment that we now have, the damages would be in the trillions of dollars, and repair could take decades, if at all possible. And with each passing day, with each little transition into an electric future, we're becoming more and more vulnerable to such an event.
Nick Spellman does high-end carpentry in the home improvement trade that has burgeoned since lockdown. Increased demand far exceeds supply, with the price of raw materials going through the roof.
I went to a wholesaler the other day. The timber that I bought there was probably around about 40% more than it was about 3 months ago. And they said, have you got everything you need? Because this time next week it's probably going to go up another 10%.
Tempting as it may be to point to a simple single cause, the reality is more complex. A post-Brexit, COVID, post-lockdown and climate crisis perfect storm hitting an intricate web of global supply chains in which the smallest glitch can affect the whole system.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday warned a, quote, real shooting war may result from cyber attacks, and he pointed to Russia as a growing threat.
But I think it's more likely we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence.
This is Wrap the News. Before, when we used to give out the news, we were all pretty much putting out the same event at the same time as whoever saw the event happening at the same time. So around the same day, we would all put out the news event. Now, there are so many damn events going down all at one time that you notice on the news stations, and I'm talking about us reporting the news, not the fake news, that we all are given different news stories now, because that's how much stuff is actually happening. And then basically we can't even keep up with everything that's going down because so many things is going down all at one time. And what that tell you is, stop being detoured by what's happening in the world and only focus on your salvation. Again, stop being detoured about everything happening in this world right now, because that's what it's for, and focus on being delivered when the Most High God arrives. Again, this place, God says he is going to judge with fire. A fire consumes before his coming. The earth and all its works will be tested by fire, and then this world will be burned with fire, all of it. And so that's what we need to expect here on this earth, is fire. Knowing that you want to be saved far from the fire. And the only thing you can do is do not have sin or iniquity, because the fire is coming to purge the sinners off the land. It is looking for sin and iniquity. The only way to be saved right now is to completely stop sinning, transgressing the law of the Torah. This is Wrap the News.